Hello everyone, I'm Gilles Barbier. I'm head of community of StreamNative. Also, I oversee the activities of StreamNative in Europe. First, really, I would like to thank again all the speakers today that took the time, their precious time, to share the knowledge they have on Pulsar. It's great, and a big thanks to them. And I have to say, we are very excited to gather the Pulsar community during this event. And we propose to have a quick Q&A session today. And I have invited some engineers in case you have some highly technical questions. I hope so. And also, please note that Matteo will be with us at the end of the day today. So there's a lot of news in the Pulsar community with Pulsar 3.0, the Oxia, and more. And so do not hesitate to ask questions now or to ask Matteo at the end of the day. Also, I don't know if you have seen in the lobby, there was a surprise today with the release of the new Pulsar website. And that's why also I invited Azaf and from StreamNative and Kirill Valkovic. That I hope that I pronounce your name correctly. That was instrumental in this change. So maybe Azaf and Kirill, can you tell us a bit more about this new Pulsar website?
Okay, so I'll start. So again, I'm Asaf. I'm working at StreamNative. And just a quick backstory while you gather all your questions. I joined StreamNative about a year ago. And one of the things that I, let's say, immediately noticed is that the website has changed. And what I wanted to accomplish is making the Pulsar website reflect how awesome Pulsar is. And I felt that the current website, with the previous one actually, because we replaced today, didn't reflect it. Like that's one thing that I want to change. And the second thing is that, you know, when you wanna share Pulsar because you really think you think it's awesome and you wanna share it with your friend, and they don't have a lot of time, right? Sometimes they have 1 minute, sometimes they have 2 minutes, 3 minutes, maybe 5, maybe 10. And you want to send them like just one pager that they can just understand Pulsar, but gradually over time. So that's the second goal that we want to accomplish. We want the landing page to have all the content, but you can read it iteratively. So maybe you can spend only 30 seconds on the first paragraph, maybe then 2 minutes on the features, maybe 3 minutes of how it works. So basically, we have several peeps that started to achieve those goals. The first peep was reorganizing what is written today in the website, which is like the first paragraph, like what is called the elevator pitch, and then the features themselves, the short feature description. And then we rolled up our sleeves and went to the big ticket item, which was the redesign, just redesigning the website to look really, really good. And so basically we formed like a squad, both from StreamNative and Teal Tools. And from Teal Tools, we have Kirill. I think one more person from there is gonna share that. So we worked, and also from StreamNative, we had Emilio, that was he's like the main designer of the website. So we worked a lot on it to achieve, and we rolled up a PIP to all the community to agree upon the new redesign. And then once the agreement was reached and a few changes were made, we just simply started implementing it. And I think you can all see it. And then all the implementation, I will let Kirill talk for a little bit about it.
Can you share? Can you maybe share the screen?
Yes, Kirill, are you able to set up your audio? Unfortunately, he's managed to set up his audio, but I can just share that. So this was the PIP that we talked about, and mainly describing what we wanted it to look like, and basically showing what it was before and there's a lot of things we wanted to change. And then this is the new website. And as you can see, it has much more colorful and modern, modern design. And also we changed that's like the main thing that we Kirill worked on during the implementation. And then the rest of the section, we simply Kirill managed to just fix them just to be good enough. And there will be subsequent PRs that will make the site a bit more welcoming. I think right now with the fonts in the background have changed and the sizing, I think it will be much easier to glance at the documentation. And of course, this will be augmented with more changes to, again, so you can share with your friend what Pulsar is.
Thank you, Asaf. It seems that Kirill does not make it, but technically is not able to join. And but we would like to thank you for his work. It was a community effort through the PIP for the documentation and for the PIP for the implementation and so on. So yes, really, we are excited to see this new website. We have also some Matteo shared some news about the Pulsar 3.0. So it was also a very large effort. Maybe Pingui, before you go up, can you share with us the main feature of the Pulsar 3.0? Or again, it's an open Q&A session, so please provide any please take the opportunity to ask any questions you may have regarding any news that we share today. Oh, Pengui drops. So please, do you have any questions on the everyone? Blue-green deployment in 3.0. Okay. Any more? Asaf, do you know, Nakul, please do not hesitate to intervene.
Okay, Penguin will be better describe this
one. Sorry, I don't know why Pengui has to leave. It's always funny those live session. Yeah, I don't know for the blue-green deployment, but we definitely will ask Matteo at the end of the day. Any more questions or comments?
There is a question.
There is one question.
Yes, in the Q&A. In terms of client support, I know these are a lot of functionality difference between the Java and other clients. Is there a roadmap for getting functionality across to other clients?
Yeah, I know there is a community effort to maintain a feature list of all the clients. Personally, we at StreamNative we are engaged to improve the client in more in other languages than Java, I would say. But it's a community effort. And I believe as far as I remember, we are going to release this spreadsheet soon. So let me check about that and come back to you. Yeah, there is a blog post regarding the support of blue-green cluster deployment in the 3.0. Best practices for on GDPR, right, for deletion on Pulsar. Yeah, I don't know if Nakul, do you have some hints about that?
Yeah, so when it comes to the best practices, Pulsar, you can do few things. One is you can delete the record. By deletion, I mean that you can produce, you can encrypt with the encryption key the messages which you are producing. And then when you are forced to delete, you remove the encryption key where you are saving, and by this way you will be able to, according to mathematics, you will not be able to read the record from this. So this is one thing which you can do. Also, in some of the cases where people are using compacted topics, log compaction, so there they can delete the message by producing a tombstone message. So that also I have seen customers doing that. So these are the best practices which I saw in the field for now. If there is some more details, I can go and answer that.
So if I summarize, the two main techniques are first encryption, then you can combine with basically loading the private key to make sure that you cannot access anymore to the data. And the second one is compacted topic, where you make sure you delete the data by providing a last message, as you describe as a tombstone. Yes. Any more questions?
And also one thing which we can also I saw with customers is they can produce with the retention. So they keep the short retention for, so I don't know, 24 hours or this. So they keep the hot data, they use it, and then I don't know, within 24 or 48 hour retention period, the Pulsar automatically will clean it up. So that also I have seen.
I see Penguin's back. Maybe we can take a few questions in the Q&A.
Penguin, we had a question about blue-green deployments in 3.0. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I think can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, and I think we have tested multiple versions that try to upgrade to 3.0 from 2.9 and 2.10 and 2.11. Yes, I think it's many things are too details, like some configuration changes or something. But I think we can share later to the community to like how to upgrade it from 2.10 to 3.0 or something. But I mean, it's yeah, just some common way and to apply some configuration changes. I mean, no like some special steps there.
The question was more specifically about blue-green deployment. Do you have...
He answered the last questions on the Q&A, and now maybe Penguin can answer about the, maybe tell like 1 minute about the blue-green deployments that is new in Pulsar 2.0.
Yes, sorry, it's for the blue-green deployment. Yeah, I'm not very sure about that one.
Okay.
Yeah, just yeah, let me try to. It's coming from RabbitMQ.
So we will take the question to Matteo at the end of the day.
Yeah. And specify TTL or each message. Yeah. Yes, I think Pulsar don't have message level TTL, but yeah, but Pulsar have topic level TTL, and but I'm not sure it's how do you use the TTL or RabbitMQ? It's you are using it as the delay the message or something, it's because Pulsar already supported delay the message. Because as I know before, like someone is using the TTL as that letter queue in runtime queue for delay the message purpose. So yeah, I'm not sure. But you can set TTL or a topic level, but not message level.
There is another 2 more questions in the Q&A. If you can see, Penguin. Do you think that Pulsar is a good fit for an AI medical product at scale?
Yeah, I think yes. I think the good one from Pulsar is the skill, right? You can scale up bookies, scale up brokers more easily without data replication. It's like a partition rebalance or something. You can just it's more easier for Kafka to scale your cluster. And if you need more storage, you can just scale bookies. If you need more like topics to handle more connections, more producers, consumers, you can scale up your scale out brokers. So yeah, I think it should be a good fit for the scale cases, right?
The next question is about in terms of client support. I know there's a lot of functionality differences between Java and other clients. Is there a roadmap for getting functionality across to other clients?
Yes, I think we have a table. It's called feature matrix, and it's most of them are for CPP client, Python client, and Go. Yeah, it should be the major 3 clients. Yeah, and if you sorry, but I need to check I'm not sure it's a Google spreadsheet, right? It's just I remember.
Never mind, because we only have 1 minute left.
Okay.
We can, as we have a small break just before, we can, if there are still some questions, we can take just a bit of time more, if there are more questions.
Prefer because more resources and a large community.
Are you looking at the last one?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so I'll just read it out. We're currently talking with senior leadership as to moving to a proper data log event bus infra. And right now, the fight is between Kafka and Pulsar. Kafka mostly preferred because of more resources and larger community. How can I best convince senior leadership that Pulsar technical advantage is worth the smaller user base?
That's always a good unexpected questions. Maybe Nakul, do you what are your main arguments about that? When you compare Pulsar, of course, it depends on the use case.
I was going to type it, but yeah, I can speak also. So I think we have to, first of all, I would not look at it as convincing something, right? When you are trying to think about fighting and convincing, then you are coming up with an ego perspective, right? That I want to win or they want to win. I would just take a step back and everything have a price and a price attend to this, right? So Kafka can solve certain set of problems and Pulsar can also solve certain set of problems. And also both of them are not the golden bullet. I mean, we are not saying Pulsar is the golden bullet or Kafka is the golden bullet. So you have to look at, I don't know your domain, right? Where you are introducing, what is your use case? I don't have this context. But if you will see, there are things like, for example, queues, right? If you have the use case where you are going to have streaming as well as a queues use case, then you can see that during the Kafka Summit recently, which took place this month, they announced that Kafka is going to build it. But here in Pulsar, you have this from a long time, right? And people are running it in production. So this is one thing there. So these features are there. Second is you have the Geo application, which is basically built in to the DNA of Pulsar. So even in an open source version, you just take it and it works out of the box, right? You have different type of subscriptions, right? In Kafka, they announce, they are going to change some of the way how the consumers can consume. But here in Pulsar, you have those things. Now, should you go with these things and fight with someone? I'm not saying that we should fight. You should look what makes sense to you, to your use case, because at the end of the day, you want the business use case to go out fast rather than sort of tell to the business that, hey, we can't deliver this use case because of these limitations, right? And I can go on more and more on these type of things, but you have to, again, look at your domain and see what is the problem you are solving. And I think if you will, present it with an open mind that both solutions have pros and cons, and you just at the end of the day decide which problems you want to tackle. Yeah, so that will be my 2 cents.
Yes, I think for sorry. Yeah, I mean, I think for Pulsar, is good at unified streaming and the messaging, good at scalability, and have some enterprise features, geo replication. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it has pros and cons. So it depends. It's what you are looking for.
And also to add what you mentioned, I mean, here we in Pulsar, for instance, the storage is completely decoupled. So you have the broker, which is state, and the storage, which means you can scale independently, both part. So even if you have a golden credit card, it's still going to run out at some point if you are going to scale everything, right? So in Pulsar, these design decisions were taken long before, when they were building the project, right? It's not like just they added an if statement and okay, now we will have separate. So you can see that broker is more scalable, irrespective of the storage unit, and it helps you. And also the tiered storage is something which was built in long before, which means you can save a lot on the infra. I think one of our customers, they tried and they could reduce significant amount of infrastructure just by running the same workload on Pulsar, right? So these are some of the things which you have to take into equation. I hope to answer your question. Maybe you can add, thank you.
Yes, as I know, it's some users is like scale out the cluster or the brokers, say maybe to 50 ports, and after they pick, it's just the scale down to maybe only a 3 port, because it's more easy for Pulsar, but it's not easy for Kafka, because you need to move the partition data. It's too many things to do.
Yeah, and also you gave me, last but not the least, the thought. I mean, that makes Pulsar more cloud native, because in cloud the storage is decoupled, these things is decoupled. So I mean, you can say that, okay, we have, because the question mentioned that there was smaller use base. So I mean, you can see when the cloud is also not here from like last 40 years or 20 years or 30x years, right? It is new thing evolving. So the technologies are also adopting, and Pulsar happens to have the separate storage and things. So it is more easily adaptable if you are using Kubernetes and things like that. That you can also sort of take into the consideration.
Thank you. I just wanted to add that Julian actually has a nice talk at the beginning of the afternoon where he talks a bit about those subjects and the differences between Pulsar and Kafka also. So maybe you could be interested by this talk.
Yeah, I will talk about some differences between Pulsar and Kafka regarding the scalability and the elasticity difference.
There is a last question about visualized data lineage within Pulsar. I'm not sure what. I'm not sure about this question. That's does anyone want to say something about it? I'm not sure to understand the question as it is formulated. No, maybe Jeroen, you can precise the question.
Yeah, maybe I can try to provide some idea. It's about because we have tried to use some tools to visualize the data in Pulsar. It's I think it depends on your data skill. It's before we used to integrate with Trino. It's before it named PrestoDB, right? Yeah, it's if you don't have a very large scale data, and you can, because we already have a Trino connector there, so you can try to query data directly to the topic. So if you it looks like a more simple way to visualize the data in Pulsar. Yeah, and with Trino, yeah, you can have meta base, I remember, and another project named what? It's Superset. Yeah, it's you can have a UI to integrate with Pulsar SQL Trino connector, and yeah, you can try to create a chart or something or run SQL. It's more easy to visualize the data.
Is one more questions? Cloud event support. Yes, I'd like to know a bit about cloud event support on Pulsar. Right now, it seems that we need to use Kafka to Pulsar in order to use it. Will Pulsar have native support for cloud events? Anyone want to answer? For my understanding of cloud events, you can use today Pulsar with cloud events. So the only thing is that you don't have let's say an official way to do it, but using cloud event with Pulsar is not complicated at all. It's just that there is no official way no official package to do it, but there is, as far as I know, I've looked at this subject a bit. There is no difficulty really to use cloud event with Pulsar.
And also, I was typing the answer for that, so I forgot to mention that multi-tenancy is something which which Pulsar has built in, and that is a very strong thing if you are going to an enterprise level workload, right? So again, this is just I wanted to add. I just write on a chat, but I couldn't hit enter. So when we were comparing Pulsar to Kafka, again, multi-tenancy. So as I said, like look this problem from different sides, right? Rather than outfight, rather than think what is going to make you sleep better in night. Yeah, and according to your domain and workload, because most of the customer look for multi-tenancy and they have to do some sort of come up with a naming convention or something with Kafka. But here you have, everything from the day one, Pulsar is built to support multi-tenancy. So it's a fine-grained support, and you can segregate the topics based on even, for example, retention or I don't know, compliance and things like that.
Thank you, Nakul. Thank you, everyone. I think we can, I don't see any more questions. We can stop there.